What's going on? I just want to do a response, an old stream that I seen from DJ Cuda's. I got a bunch of watch laters in my archives, and this topic is a classic live stream. It had several great points. What I've seen, what's happening right now, and I'm going to continue to. Let me put this under non-activism. Okay, let's see who's in the chat, and I'm already on fire. What's going on, American Negro? Salute. And it's a stream that I saw earlier this morning, and it's a classic stream. What's it called? It's called The Manosphere is in Disarray, and it's typical. I think you have Ty City. You had several other people that's kind of people. The same people still cool with Cool, and the rest of them that used to be cool, they left. It's interesting what they was talking about. Then they had Edward Anderson. They was talking about TikTok and things like that. It's like in March. That's a hell of a stream. And I want to tell you this. I like that stream. What was so telling though about the doxing with game changing, of course, Mr. Fitnell, aka Mr. 824, was getting doxed. And I think Judge Zilla said it best. Why do a person have to hate someone, a small disagreement, and then they get doxxed? And if you put yourself out there, and they was defending Tommy getting doxxed and all that stuff. What's going on, 1Gs? And salute. But I'm just saying, like, I never understood how it was like that back then. And I think they did that last year during COVID, which is kind of interesting. I just want to point that out in the live stream. But that classic live stream that I saw, man, it was funny though. It was funny as hell. It was like what, 10 hours? One thing I can say about it gave me a reason to see what it is. I mean, I put it in the chat, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna share it. Um, I'm gonna put it in the community tab, and so y'all can watch it, and I'll put it into the chat. Yeah, classic. And post it, and then I'm gonna post it. And then I'm just gonna go here for a minute. And I'm just like, I'm posted here. Yeah, I posted it in the chat so y'all can see. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just looking at it for right now. It's just like I'm not even worried, you know? And that's the thing, you know. And I think that stream is good. But my next one I'm going to see is Shaking My Head third shift. I got After the Party Quarantine third shift. It's looking like another Manosphere 2.0. This is all Cuda shit, classics, right? And Saturday Night Pull Up third shift, and the One Master Teacher Afterflow. That one I'm gonna have to watch. We'll see who's on the panel. Then there's a third shift. It's a 9 hour and 29 seconds, and that's the one when he has the guy with the feathers, and I forget the character that he had. That's the icon that you see. But that's the one that I have posted in my watch laters. And then the last one is gonna be couldn't resist y'all Afterflow 4 hours. So yeah, these streams I'm gonna watch probably several couple days, because I know people ain't gonna stream as much. But for me, it's just a response, man. I already posted it in the community tab. I'm gonna share something. I'm gonna share something with y'all. Hold on for a minute till I get to my channel, because I know everybody's fucking streaming. And they talking about Megan Thee Stallion, Anger Man. Yeah, everybody's streaming. But I don't care if Ramil's streaming. I mean, it's Monday. I usually is going to stream tomorrow. It's going to be about the Zodiac, the quality signs. I'm going to get into that. And I know I'm streaming. This may not be a long stream. This may be an open panel or something. I'll talk about it. Um, I saw several key points they made, but yeah, man. I'm gonna screen share and tell y'all what I'm talking about. I put it in the chat. So when I saw this morning, uh, even though when I got off a stream with Cudas last night with the karaoke 4th of July, that was a good one. This one right here was in my watch list. I had to watch it this morning. You know, I just got up and I slept on the panel, and I was recovering from last night. I had fun. Um, the thing about it is, I was looking at that stream and I was like saying the people that I've noticed that I'm kind of cool with and the ones I ain't. I've noticed something, and I'm like, he's right about Aegon. You notice the two people that was there last night's 4th of July. It was Aegon, Zero Sarah, the stream. That's the fucked up thing about it. And they were there, and I've noticed something. I was last night. I didn't want to tell them that, but then the reason I saw this, I'm like, they had Marco. But the good thing about it is, it's just like, why were these guys in the streams? They had several people. Oh, it was several people that left and things like that nature. So, you know, and I'm just like, I was like looking at it, you know, but it is in disarray. It's just like he predicted. Basically, I was watching that stream and I was like, well, damn, everything he said, and they had some points. And this is, I think Cuda was out and let him talk. I've noticed his old streams, like he's hosting the panel, but he's not talking as much. And I've noticed that because the last time he did something like that, his internet was bad. And I think we was in a long live stream with just DeAndre, and we held it down for a long time. And then Fast was up here, Triple Black, and they left. We held it down the rest of the way. And it was a 12-hour stream, but it cut it off the 11th. That stream is a classic too. But this one, uh, with the Manosphere and Disarray, that was too. He handled it. He handled it well. He let people run the panel and stuff. So he was doing stuff that was on a regular. So yeah, he's been consistent doing it. But now they're gonna add a feature of a co-host on these streams, and I think that's gonna be a part of the new wave. So you know, what's going on, Queen? Salute. Yeah, I was looking at this stream and I'm like, that's a classic stream that I've learned from him, and I was like, yeah, that right there had a lot of good panelists. Yeah, they had EA, they had everybody. Um, it's just crazy, but that just shows you that live stream was like he had an old background before he had the player talk. So when he started off small. So what I did, I had a black screen and then I had to work my way up. Yeah, streaming was something else. That streaming thing was classic. But I still got to watch rest of his from shaking my head third shift all the way from I couldn't resist y'all afterflow. But the one master teacher afterflow, that's the one he said that's a classic right there. Okay, he's got a lot. I'll have to look at his stuff. Yeah, he's been consistent with it. I said, damn, I should have been over here last year if they was doing shit like this. See, this is the type of shit that I like. Now, if you have bills like that, talk about things and be pragmatic, I understand. I think that is the way to do it. I mean, my channel is, I'm not trying to base it all Cudas. I'm gonna be a little different because everybody else deal with the music. They got their own thing. Mine's gonna be a combination of the stuff that I talk about. We can build on something. It's just a place that you can get your mind right and swell into. So it's a combination. But when I look at his streams, how he conducts himself, I'm just using it as a template. I like how he handled it, you know. And he had noticeable people, but you know, they flipped it until the split. That's just the thing with me. So, you know. I can't keep up with Cuda. He's a cool dude, but his shows are crazy and too late for me. I can't keep up with all of it. Well, you can catch him. The trick is with him is just don't watch everybody's streams. I mean, if you catch him in the morning, he'll be like 3 a.m. He goes on around 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. like around night, and then he'll be all up in the morning. It'll be like 8 hours, 9 hours of streams. So he's been consistent lately. They taking some of his stuff down. So yeah, he's hard to reach. But to me, he's not. You know, I'm always up around this time because I sleep like 4 hours. And it's like a cookout. In a way, yeah. I mean, it's more like a cookout. It's more like it's almost like a club, a nightclub. And Platinum's is like a pool hall strip club, what he was saying. And then he said Mason's like the bar. We build the other night with Mace. I was talking about Ish too. So I'm not gonna lie, but you know, that's just what it is. But yeah, what I see from this live stream that I did, it's a classic. And that lets me know what time it is. But this right here, I'm not gonna watch it, but it made 1.5 thousand views. That was a year ago. This is a classic live stream. This is the one y'all should be looking at. And that's the one right here that I'm talking about in my community tab. So yeah. And I'm gonna go into my watch later. Hold on. I got something. All these I gotta watch. It's probably this week. And the longest one is after the after party quarantine. That's the one I'm gonna watch probably after this. This is an 8 hour stream. I could put this on my I would say I'll put that on my phone because I don't know if Ramil's gonna go crazy. And I'll put Ramil on here on the Chromebook because he don't do long streams himself. I don't either. But I will do the Zodiac tomorrow. I'll do it on the 6th. I'm gonna deal with the quality signs, so I'll deal with that in a minute. But tonight I'm just gonna throw something up. I decided to throw a stream up, talk about his recent stuff right here. This is the stuff I'm watching right now. I'm not watching them right now, but I'm gonna watch this next, then this one, and just get a feel of it, of his live streams, and just see his content. Like, it's incredible since he evolved. That's his old background. So he came a long way. So shouts out to DJ Cuda, man. Please subscribe to the brother and let's get him there. But yeah. Me, it's a whole nother ball game because I'm trying to restructure what I'm gonna do in the future. So I'm not even worried about the gear and stuff. That will come in time. Because I'm not in a situation that I need to be yet. But I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll start off basic and then just improve my content and things like that. But I'll get there. So that's the thing. Yeah, final astrology signs. It deals with quality signs. It do all three of them. I got one on the 8th, chat room battles on live streams. It's gonna be, and that's probably gonna be on the phone. I'll be on the phone talking to y'all. Content control and long-term results. That's gonna be on the phone. Most of these probably gonna be on the phone. Be off rip. So yeah, we'll see what people are coming into. But you know, yeah, this is the stuff I got in my watch later. So you know, I'm just gonna like, hey, I'm just gonna cut this off. But you know, so you did an old stream about the Manosphere being a Disarray a year ago. Wow, no, that was Cuda. That was Cuda. That was Cuda. That's his stuff. Yeah, that was Cuda's old streams. Queen. The reason I'm watching him is because I want to see what his content was like in those days and the people that he used to hang with. And I'm studying this space. I'm trying to see if the same people come around this time around. Who's consistent, who's not. Yeah. Yeah, he's been doing it. He's going back to the old self, like 8 hours to 10, 11 hour streams. He's been consistent, you know. It's nothing to him at this point. I can do it too, but I ain't got enough headspace to do a lot of hours on those streams. That'd be too easy. I have to pick a day to do that. So, you know, I ain't got a studio for that. That's next level stuff. That's a goal. You know, I only do 2 to 3, 4 hours. I am not in the position of doing it. But if I was, it'd be too easy. And people just come up and just keep streaming. And that's the thing, you know. And then I have it in motion. So, you know, and then people take a break of doing theirs, you know. It's gonna get to a point. It's gonna get to a point. But your content has to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like you can talk about a lot of different things. But yeah. I just want to respond. I got my thing going, so you know, I'm gonna set this up if people want to talk. Cause I got a lot of stuff to get out, and then I'm just like, you know, posting something. Cause I know people are still streaming and going crazy right now. I'm not even worried about it. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got this in motion. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. So, yeah, consistency is the key. And I just deal with that. And yeah, I'm on fire right now. So I'm doing decent. I ain't worried about the numbers and things, but that gets to the point. And that's just how it is. It's how it is sometimes. I know people stream for different periods, but you know, Rashawn's scribe be in May, which is interesting. May 8th. Oh my God. He been coming around. That's because of Cuda and shit. Because I didn't have these subscription numbers before. Who's Carlos McKinnis? Who is you? Okay. Oh, you're a cool guy. Appreciate you, bro, for subscribing. Yeah, Shango. Yeah, it's a lot of noticeable people over here, man. Yeah. It's a lot of people. Some people just fading away, man. You got trolls and shit. And astrology signs. I did the zodiac. So yeah, yesterday they wasn't gonna be open panels. This is something you can still watch those, but the final one is gonna be really simple. I'll talk about it and probably open up the panel and we can talk, because we can get into it and we can just look at it and look at the details. But you know, but for me, it's just I just want to talk about the stream that I did before. I mean, this is pretty good. It's a classic live stream response. They talked about everything what was happening. You get a feel to it. You just don't worry about the things that's going to be happening right now. So you know how it is. I'll definitely check the refer video out. Okay. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool, ain't it? Oh, what's going on? Go Professor Salute. Yeah, man. I decided just make a little response for this classic streams, but you know, I'm enjoying them. But I will probably watch one tomorrow and see if I like that 8-hour stream. It's an 8-hour stream, but I will watch it. He's got plenty good ones I like. I'm looking at his channel and see his format, what's going to happen in the future. And I think the stuff he's talking about is very accurate. They had some great builds. I mean, him and Zero, Aegon, and a lot of other guys. Those are the guys, like, that's what it was back then. So yeah, StreamYards was hot. It wasn't like what you got Zoom now and this and that. Everybody got their own thing. So, and it's just like what Fasta said, they were here and just doing content. So you could do that. But what I liked about it was everybody was chill in the chat, and everybody in the chat was very loyal then. They had different people. It was some I remember. I think it was Nimble Mint. They all follow Zero now, and you had a lot of people. I think you had Marco. I think he calls himself Casey something, but you know what I'm saying. Like that's just the thing about YouTube. You can find old stuff like that and just relish on it. So again, like you can do stuff like that, and for me, I'm not even tripping. But you know, as a person that looks at great content and classic content, I can tell you firsthand. A lot of times, it's substance, the creativity. You can just put here and just say, "Hey, you know," and that's just it for me. But you know, and I just want to put that out there, and then I'm gonna post this stream on my community tab as well. People just come through. Um, yeah, and I ain't got no issues or anything, but you know, platinum's gonna go long, and you know, and I know people will be on fire and stuff like that, but you know how it is. And yeah, and that's just the thing, you know. Mm-hmm. He talking about Manosphere. Platinum's doing another one. Man, he's doing another one. Okay. But yeah, that's great. New, what's going on, man? Salute. And you know, that stream had me going, man. Like I like those streams. And you know, I'm sky watching red, things like that. But you know, but that yeah, what I saw in those streams, it just it takes you back to the time that you know people was quarantined. Even if you're not doing much in those years, it's one of those classic builds that people was talking about. They was going to do something with their lives or traveling and things like that. Great conversation, a little pushback there and there, but yeah, and I didn't realize Hammer was over there. He was young, and yeah, Cuda was right. There's a lot of people was over there, so yeah, Cuda was like the night spot. He was consistent with it. So yeah, he had class streams before he had the player talk background. So you know, Pappy going ham with the stream. He gets in a mode and he'll just start cracking them out. Yeah, he's got one right now. It's called Manosphere. I'm not gonna check it out. You know, it ain't gonna be much. He'll probably get some views, but it's no need. You know what I mean? Because everybody's streaming right now. I'm doing this right now. I'm not gonna wait until 3 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do that because everybody's watching different people at once. My time is usually around 7 to 8 Eastern time. And I just come on and just start doing my thing. Because during the day, I hate to say this, like during the day, I would say about 10 from 1 p.m. That's easy to do because everybody's streaming around that time. That's easy to do, right? Because if you stream around the morning time, I give you an example what Cuda does. 12 a.m. midnight from I would say about 6 to 7 o'clock where it ends in the morning, or sometimes 11 a.m. right when he ends it. Right, a lot of people won't be streaming around those times. It's easy to do in the morning and just get a long stream in, right, and end it in the afternoon, and that's easy to do. But the thing is, I've learned night streams a lot better. That's how you get your start, and then you just that's where it's at really, because that's where you get your numbers. People's getting off work, they chilling, they ain't worrying about nothing. They just get their minds into motion and they just like say, hey, I'm just gonna do me. But the thing is with me, I'm just like, I'm up here like, yeah, I gotta do a stream on this. What I saw in those classic videos, like what he did in those streams, a lot of times he didn't want to control the panel. He left, he was doing something, people held it down. I think I did plenty of those. Probably about 3 or 4 times on his platform. But me, I can do the same thing if I want to, while people's talking and then I be in and out. I think I've done that before, like once or twice to somebody else. But that's the standard, you know. That's what you got to do. But I'm not even worried about it. So yeah, you're in motion. And yeah, it was a 2 hour stream, but that's how it is. But yeah, I know people love Platinum right now because he's doing one on the Manosphere and stuff like that. And that's just crazy at this point. I know people's watching it, but me, I'm just talking about a response. So yeah. Um yeah, what I was saying. We was we was saying there was a build in these videos. And what I'm saying is we see a lot in this old stuff, and I'm just like saying, you know, and I'm gonna say what's up to old boy, and I'm just gonna cut out, and you know, and I know people don't really care, but yeah, Red's getting the views now. Good for him. Shouts out to boy Red. Salute to him and subscribe to Red Sings the Blues. He's going to end up being a good podcaster. But for me, you know, when I saw that stream with Cuda with the Manosphere is in disarray, is a response, and they are. I mean, niggas, what he said, Zero said they're done. He said them niggas is done, and I started laughing. I was like, they are done. So you know, yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, that's where you get your viewership because some people is coming back from work or just waking up in the morning. That's when people tune into your stuff. And I've noticed that the afternoon stuff is a little tricky because sometimes people are off and on. They get in motion and they just, I don't see them doing any. But for me, it's just like I learned to do my stuff at night. So I realized if you do it at night, you're on par. Because if you do it in the morning, it's just the same thing. You get those results. The afternoons, you're competing against a couple of streamers, and I've noticed that. I did that a few times. I'm like, yeah, depends on the topic. If they're on some BS, you can come over here and build for an hour. And if you start like a 4 hour, like a 4 o'clock Eastern time setting from, let's say like 5 or 6, that's when people tune into your stuff. But if you are malevolent with subscribers, you're gonna get those views regardless. It's how many people's tuning in and watching you. Because 7 and 8, that's when people really come in. If there ain't no streams, you have to be on deck. So me, I'm just pushing content for right now. I'm not worried about the money. The money will come later because I gotta restructure myself too. But I ain't at that level yet. But I will be. You know, I'm taking it one day at a time because I'm learning about how to control panels, topics, and learning how to put them in precise and then stick with topics that I'm good at and then be consistent with it. Because I time my, I would say panel streams. I schedule my stuff. I don't just go random with it like every day because some people ain't going to show up because they like the entertainment. Because I have to understand this is YouTube. This is what they do. A lot of people say it's a job. No, it's entertainment. You just replacing entertainers now in the news a little bit. I hate to say that. But when you're actually doing real content and substance, it's that don't pay the bills for most people, but you're taking a big risk. And that's a good thing. So, you know. And you know, and she's talking to new. Okay. But yeah. That's why I have in the chambers. So, you know, those streams is on there. So, you know, I know Platinum ain't talking about nothing. And I was looking at that classic stream, man. They was talking about a lot of stuff. Marco was talking about Venezuela. He was talking about his travels. He was talking about a lot of stuff I heard from the Black Men Travels. I forget his name, Aaron. Yeah. And yeah. And he said on the same thing what Marco was saying. He was traveling. It's a big difference, but then the stuff costs a little different. But I can tell you this. He was consistent too. People love in the chat. It was a lot of people that fuck with Cuda, you know? And that's just the thing. So when I do a live stream like those, like what Cuda had, that takes you back. I mean, that's a stream that you can say, hey, I'm gonna fucks with it. You know what I mean? And you stick with it. But you stick with it as your whole purpose of it. So, I'm just not worried about not doing streams and things like that. Because when people stream, they get in motion. So what I've learned from last night, I mean, we can have fun and chill, and that karaoke just had me dying. And it just takes you back. But you know what I mean? I'm just gonna be here right now just chilling. But I just wanted to do a response to it, and I'm just like, I observe a lot what they were saying. So, all right, give me a second, I'll be back. All right, I think I got background noise. Hold on. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna do something real quick. Let me change my color brand. It's too black. It's too black. It's too black. It's too black. Screen. Yeah. Let's stick to that color. Yeah. Yeah. Get this in motion. But I was looking at it and I was like saying, hey man, these streams is just getting crazier and crazier. So you just look at it. But for me, that stream was very telling with how we build off of it. So when you have streams like that, you usually get emotion with it. So for now on, it's just like I love streams that you can just compete with, and you stick with it. And I think people was talking about, what was he talking about? I think the first half they was talking about women and traveling, and I think they was talking about people saying the same old stuff, and I think people getting doxxed. The judge said something very valuable. He said, "Why people still doxing, and if you dox yourself, you're gonna get looked at." He said about them two guys in that stream that I know, GC and your boy Mr. 824, was getting doxxed. But see, that's what they look for. They said, "Why has he got a career?" And I said, "Well, it ain't just your name. It's just they want to find out where you work." That's why a lot of people don't cam up and show their faces. It's several reasons why people don't do it. The reason back then it was a lot worse because of COVID and people starting to killing each other and things like that. The problem with the internet, when these type of platforms came along, it's gotten worse. And then a lot of people trying to say this stuff needs to be regulated. I don't think it's going to be regulated. If it's going to be regulated, show me in the history of the internet as regulation worked, and it didn't. All it did was piss a lot of people off, and they go to different platforms. What's heard in this site and Google is censorship. Censorship is what destroys things because you don't have a freedom anyway yourself. Even if we have our own platform, niggas ain't gonna support and donate. I seen this with the first 1.0 when they had genx.net.com, and I think Wacky and me spoke about it on this channel, that we was dealing with the same problems. People don't donate. It's like you see in these spaces now, the newer ones. Google Hangouts, I missed my chance in those chats, but I did have the Google Plus hangout in the chat by via messaging. You know, I still got that contact, John DaCosta. You know, we was cool. So he's like a contact that I only have talked to back in those days when I did that video. I came from the pre-record era, and I'm just reintroduce myself again for like the 11th or 1,000th time. I say this on every stream. That's what I was. And this channel is going to be the same. The only thing difference is I'm going to have different things and different topics to talk about. So, you know, yes, the Hebrew stuff, I done explained that years ago. It's been consistent. The black stuff, the conscious stuff, that's there. I talked about that years ago. The stuff they talking about, I was talking about that years ago. When I had a computer and a camera as my mic on Dell and Inspiron, I had those and made videos and broke them up. That's the thing with me. So with me, it's a whole different ball game. But I do self live streams. That's my thing. You know, that will never go out of style. But that's the thing with me. And so what you have is you have your emotions and whatever. So, you know, and a lot of people just can't accept that, you know. But I don't worry about people who watches my streams at this point. I only got 2 people in the box because the last time I had it was like 9. I ain't got to the 10 yet. I think I had 10, close to 10, and then dropped to 9 once. It was around that area. So the most is like 9 so far, but the 10, I don't know if I had 10. If I did, I don't know which stream was that, but it's been a while. So I'm cracking. It's just I got to see my channel viewership that has to go up. It's a watch hours, and they say, but it's more than that. It's a combination of a lot of things. You got to have support, and they can support this channel. But you know, but this topic was talking about that stream. Yeah, that's right, Go Professor. Yeah, same here. Well, see, 2019 when I got it, those 1,000 subscribers, I got most of them came from my pre-records. It was like my stuff. A lot of people was liking my old stuff, and I've been consistent with it. And then when I came back in these spaces around the town, now 2020, people subscribing me still. That same year when quarantine, they was watching my stuff. But see, I was in chat rooms and stuff like that. Now I was on panels. I was on panels as a panelist and had my 2 cents in. But see, I had content already. I already had content there. I already had the subscriber base. I had everything, right? But see, last year was like a little different, you know, because I was self-reflecting. I was trying to find somewhere to land, you know, just to spark up a conversation. You know, the brain trust didn't work out that for me. I thought it was gonna be something, and then that ship sailed. The other individuals, yeah, that ship sailed. But now I think the split happened and March came. I think Cuda's the main place I always go. He's the only one I can do that with over there. I mean, I usually do that in Art of New Style, but I still go over there with him sometimes with his channel. But I normally stay at Cuda's at around that time because I don't really care for everybody else. Now, you may see me over there with Platinums. You may see over there everybody else moving around talking to people because I get around. I watch everybody. See who's talking about what. But I do not go is Bernie Povich. I do not mess with him at all. You know who I'm talking about. I don't fuck with his content at all. I don't. Because Obsidian and all them other idiots over there. I don't fuck with that content. Now you do see me over at Ramil's. That's the only one. You do see me over there with Ramil's. And I'm gonna continue. You know, I like decent content and what they're talking about and just get it in motion. I just don't have time for the bullshit at this point. You know, I'm gonna do mines over here as well. I'll be over at Mace's as well. I move around. And then besides the Manosphere, you see me with the Devin Ways in the chat. or Gully TV. I move around because anything in a chat room or any form of content, I'm going to move around. Now, you may see me with other individuals' content. Now, you may see me over at Wackies, but I'm going to do me. So, yeah, I won't build this channel for a spot. I won't agree with CG3 said about have a spot that people can build. I can do that. And I listened to what y'all said, and I said, I'm going to be that type of spot then, around this time. And Cuda can have the midnight, the late night, midnight, all the way through the morning shift, because he can put some hours in. And that takes skill. I ain't at that level yet with that type of studio that he got. That's nice. But I was telling them they're going to try to make it, package it like a cell phone. Because studios are going to be eventually be obsolete. And boom arms and stuff, they're going to make everything smaller. That's tech. That's tech in general. And tech is kind of complicated. So once you learn about tech, you learn about things in life. So that's the thing with me. I don't have much, but just myself, and yeah, when I saw that stream, I learned a lot about that stream, what they was talking about. Yeah, they talk about traveling, they talk about the other social networks. That's what Edward loves to talk about. They had different people have different topics. That's the type of stuff he was talking about over there. But they was actually doing some things. So yeah, people in the chat that I knew was over there, and now you got some still stayed. And I saw Benny in the chat. Benny was in the chat. So if you want to go further back, and I like the title, it is in disarray. They talking about the same old bullshit back then. Because I remember over in BGS, people was talking about the same old thing in his chats. You know what I'm saying? And not on panels and stuff. I didn't get on panels until, the first one I got on was over at Wacky Worlds. And then I started getting on everybody else's. And I think Fantastic was the second one. Then the third one was Brain Trust. I was big on the Brain Trust. There's a lot of content over there with the Sapio, the watches, with Super Triz. There's a lot of good content. I was on there, and I had my old icon that you see me in the chat. I want to show y'all, and I'm going to go back to it. Hold on. This is what y'all remember me from last year. Right here. So now I'm going back to this. So, it's going to be a little different. So, yeah. And that's it. They conversating in the chat. But yeah, it's been 40 something minutes. I can go before it becomes another hour. But yeah, I just want to just put this out here. It's like one of those streams that you just got to see it, man. Like, I'm just looking at most of his content right now. I'm not going to do it right now on this channel because I'm streaming, because I can look at that shit later. Because everybody's doing different things. So, I'll keep it up just for the topic being, let's see right here. Yeah, I'm going to drop this down, and, I can post links all day. So at this point, I'm just going to be me. And that's the thing. So, Platinum done went crazy. Platinum done went crazy. A Manosphere hookup with Maisha. That nigga went crazy. But that's the thing that, people do. Yeah, I'm live. Respond to a classic. So, I'm in motion right now. And that's just the way it's gonna be. So, people's just knocking out. So they said, what happened to the Black Brain Trust? Do they still do content? Every now and then. Every now and then. Every now and then. When I was over there last year, they was, but every now and then. I don't really mess with them like that no more because of the split in February. I will not February, but March, that whole March nonsense that I had to deal with. Oh yeah, that's cool, Go P. I know you are, but I'm just saying, like at that time, they had some decent content, but they didn't show no actual tech, and I think Cuda said they were boring, to most people, and most people didn't acknowledge them as 3.0. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Stream Team, uh, the four guys, it was about ego, and I talked about this over at Mace. What I've noticed, they was together in this stream that I just saw until the split happened, and then Ty City was over there too. That's probably one of my favorite streams classes I like that I've seen that one. That was more productive. And a lot of people was over there. It was a nice hangout. But then soon, and I think Platinum was around at this time too, but he wasn't doing that much content. But he had a channel. But he was doing it, He was arguing with somebody, and I think it was on his channel what Zero said. Yeah, Platinum does a lot of content. So it's kind of funny that he didn't make an impact over Cudas, and he got big later when he got those views. So it makes sense. But the Brain Trust, they was relevant in the early years when they started. They did so much content and got views. It was good until COVID came. They kind of fell off, and now it's defunct. What PK Angel said on the Purple Paradise is here stream. If you catch that stream, he said, yeah, it's defunct, and he said that. That's what you got now. You don't have many others that just do anything. So that's what you're dealing with. So yeah, it was a split. I'm gonna break it down to you. When Hammer brought in that nonsense with game versus non-game, that's when people start splitting up. The BS just got worse and worse, and people got tired of it. And it was on a damn crusade and failed. Nobody cares about that shit. It's stupid. And the same people's pushing that bullshit is people that endorse tricking, that goes for male and female. But I ain't gonna get into that weak conversation because quit talking about that stuff. Y'all ain't built like that. And just like why I saw this classic stream, I'm glad they said this. Don't bring this shit online. And I agree with Jazil in that old classic video, what he was saying. You ain't even built like that. A lot of these dudes ain't built like that. They just talking shit to be online. It's just to get clicks. And I'll tell you a secret what Gully TV said. If you take all that stuff out, where's their content? They disappear. And he's right, because just like in the Manosphere, we've seen this BS before. Many people talk the same old shit until they start disappearing. People come and go. I don't care how much gear you have, how much substance. I mean, you can have great substance about yourself and maintain here long. I don't care how much gear and all that stuff. If you don't have no substance in your content, people gonna watch you for who you are regardless. I've seen that the test of time. And if they like some of your videos and your streams, that determines who you are. The subscribers determine who you are. It's their interests. Everybody's not going to just stay with a million. The guys that have 1 million subs or more, or even 70,000. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of those people are bots. They're fanatics. I'm going to talk about that in recent streams I'm about to do, about the chat room, how pathetic they are in general. And they don't confront nobody. You can't trust their motherfucking ass. That includes the big YouTubers that have them. They're pathetic. And I'm not talking about y'all in the chat. I'm talking the ones I've seen outside of space and here. It's becoming a trend. I hate that weak shit. And they ain't really built to hit the links. And I agree with Just said. He said about 7% in this stream, he said they don't hit the link because they ain't got no content. That's the thing. It ain't about the gear. Do you have any content? It's easy to do. Everybody's stuck at step one. You know what I mean? How the hell they gonna get gear and they stuck at step one? I've done that already. I can tell them how to do it. The gear thing, you don't want to rush that. That's next level stuff. If you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to do something small with the phone, a similar gear, but you're gonna have to learn how to adapt first to it. Because YouTube, you can do content, you can do pre-records, but streaming is not easy because you got to maintain a crowd, you got to maintain a panel, and maintain people, what they say, or a platform. So your platform has to grow that way. So there's many ways to grow it, but the self live streams is where it's at. That's where what's popping. This is just a panel thing. Obviously, you can make money off this. You can make money off anything of YouTube. Pre-records, this, self live streams, and people support you regardless. Once you understand that, you're showing yourself, and people are going to give you those deals. And what I saw from Marv Albert, and he's saying about the NBA's having a lot of broadcasting jobs open. It's just sad, man. Hammer's still here. He's just got a fake ass second channel with his bots. I was making fun of him last night with the 4th of July the 4th of July stream with Cuda, the karaoke. Who was acting a fool over there. And his ass like saying what? His ass. I tried to help him last year with that bullshit about talking about these females and things like that. I'm like, dude, you ain't talking about that. Ain't got no substance. So you know how it is, and that's YouTube for you in general. So I'm not even worried, and that's just here. So I'm just gonna dump this link. I'm gonna ramble on some more because I know people is not going to come right through. This is just an option. Yeah, I just want to talk about the stream I saw and observing what I've seen in that stream, and it was exactly right. So when you're dealing with streams like that, you're dealing with the whole confidence thing. So yes, Penn, great. What I seen in that stream is very telling. And he's talking about people in the audience not participating in panels and stuff. A lot of it is jobs. They were saying that last year. Everything we said last year was consistent because when COVID hit, a lot of people was forced to change and do things they didn't want to do. So basically, you're just going to have a content full of guys trying to build your platform. So basically, you're just out here doing stuff to maintain afloat. So that's what you have. And that's what you're going to maintain. So what we got now is it's just you got individuals that just don't want to put in the work. Like, if you want to be one of us, a content creator, not a commenter or just trolling, this is what you're going to have to do. Like, you still got to build off that. And that's just the maintaining point. But when you have content like this, you still be consistent with it. And so basically, you just gotta get in the swing of things. So that's what you got to do. And my next stream will be final astrology signs. I might do a self stream on the 7th. I mean, watch out for these streams, but I may do that, a self stream. It ain't gonna be long. I'm just gonna be talking. It's probably gonna be at nighttime, and then I'm gonna explain what the chat room battles on live streams that I've seen. It's ridiculous, and the trolling and stuff like that. How to maintain content is gonna be a rocky start. I'm gonna explain in long-term results. How do you keep content and how you leave it? So basically, you're trying to build a foundation on your channel. So if you're in the motions of building your content, you do this stuff on a daily. So basically, you're just doing your thing and just maintaining who you are. And you're just in that motion. So I'm just saying for what it is. So the response that I'm doing for that stream, right now on this topic, it's very telling because some people they do it, they come and go, and what I've noticed in people just trying to do content. So you know, I want to look at it this right quick. What they say? They said something very valuable. Yeah, the people in the audience, they just don't have that. It ain't just the equipment. A lot of people say they come with equipment. I'm trying to address what May said last night. Yeah, they come with equipment, but they're not good content creators. You can come with equipment all you want, but if you ain't got no substance, I'm talking about messaging. Now, yes, a lot of people like listening to great audio. I agree with that. What I don't agree with, if they don't have no substance behind it, that's when that's where you fucked up. And I agree with Gully TV what he was saying. When you fuck up and not doing content the correct way, if you take drama and beef out of it, if you don't know how to parlay it right and just get some dollars out of it, not just some dollars, but put it in a situation to make yourself better, you're gonna be stuck in a rut. You're gonna be doing the same old stuff all the time. So, you know. Okay, what's going on, Sir Anthony? Salute. And yeah, this is something that I'm just seeing for what's going on in these spaces. But they gotta understand it's the gear is irrelevant to me. I can get gear in time. I just ain't found the right mic for me for this channel, which I will. I ain't there yet. But that's something to just to deal with. And that's just the thing. But yeah, I've seen people come and go. And when they do content, I just don't see them making it in the future. So what you're doing is you're doing a platform, a bunch of silly stuff, and then try to fit in. You know, like the drama stuff. I'll give you an example. It could be the craziest stuff that people try to get subscribers. I know people buy them now because they said that's the easy way out. You're not talented, number one, and still you're just still messing up. So yeah, but hold on a second. I'll be back. I'll be on mute. What's going on?
Hey, what's happening? Oh, what's happening?
What's going on, Go P? It's good.
Hey, man, I came up here to be on the panel with you, brother, and thank you for blessing me to be on your panel with you, brother.
Oh, not a
Appreciate
problem, man. You're always welcome, man. Like, what I saw from that old stream, like they was talking about some things that I kind of agree with why people don't do as much. Like I was looking at the pre-record era compared to now because a lot of people do different things, and
it.
some people just don't have time to just push out content like that. But I've noticed in the chat, like the people that's evolving, it's certain individuals that have it and they don't. And some people just want
Yes,
to be
sir.
entertained. It's a
Y-
balance.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, I used to. I've said numerous times over that I was. I came onto YouTube before it fell under Google,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it Google bought it, and then I continued on, and I was doing channels and building stuff on it. I was learning this, and where I was putting my energy at was in the guidelines and understanding of what you can and can't do on YouTube, right?
Right.
So I was doing all that, and then you know, I fell into doing entertainment, and I went from stage to doing commercialing to doing film to doing a gang of editing and stuff like that. So I wasn't as heavy into YouTube as I was before, right?
Right.
So now, here I am now, and I look at a lot of things, and like, so for example, when you know um, it was talking about your equipment and stuff like that. Well, I got into the equipment because it was something I already experienced and understood, and I liked
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason that I really, because I understood. Not, I'm speaking from my position. Uh, I understood equipment, and I like having equipment and things of that nature. So I wasn't far from moving in that direction. Not to say that everybody else has to move in that direction, but from a personal position, uh, you know, I'm kind of geeky like that, so
Yeah.
I was okay with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So here we are. And we're talking about these spaces and content, and I tend to lean with you towards you as far as content. It's like a movie. Either it's a good movie or it's not.
In a
You know what I
way,
mean?
in a way. Yeah. I remember the pre-record era because I had a channel before this. I was flagged because I
Uh-huh.
was into the political stuff. It was back in 2012. And when this channel was
Okay.
created, I had to come with an idea. But see, I had like a laptop that had a camera and
Yes,
did
sir.
all types of with the pictures that you save and then made
Uh-huh.
pre-records because some of the videos that I've done was based off that, and it was different. It was like a little editing, and I
Yeah.
did it
Yeah.
in real time in those years. So after I
Mm-hmm.
left those 3 years, I went on a 6-year hiatus, and when I learned about these new spaces and these platforms, and I tell this Cuda all the time, I came from that era because I remember when YouTube was already bought by Google because I came in
Uh-huh.
'07 and
Okay.
I was doing the copyright thing. I hate to say in the entertainment as well. I had a channel that was I forget they had styles of channels. They had one with comedy, guru, and some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
picked the guru
Mm-hmm.
route. And the reason I picked the guru route because it's a combination of things that I experienced growing up, in the sports and things like that. And that it took me far, but I was a very small channel with my first channel, but I
Yes,
did get
sir.
views.
Yes,
I
sir.
did get views with the copyrighted stuff. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
switch somewhere around 2011, and I was trying to make that transition to try and change up my content. I did that before, and that's the reason why I mentioned the gear quality. Now you got to be ready to switch and try
Uh-huh.
to be better, but that's a skill. I mean, you can still have the same message. The trick is you got to make sure you have the right core audience that was with you in the
Right.
beginning. And that's
Right.
not easy to do when you get a lot of gear. Because what I've noticed from O'Shea, like he went up and then he went down. Because some people just they give up and they don't want to do it. You got to be consistent. It's a trick and
Right.
an art to it. And I
Right.
understand what you're saying, but while the reason I'm looking at Kuda's streams, I've noticed some when people talk about certain subjects, we always go back to the same old stuff that I've seen from 1.0 days. You got to get away from and be better, because if you try and get new gear in podcasting and broadcasting on TV, like I see in sports, they talk about different things in the same subject, but they steer off of it first and then go right back to it. You know what I mean? You don't have to stick with the same old talking points. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Let it grow tentacles and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, excuse me. As I said, when I was, I wasn't, you know, n- clear on what spaces had what at the time. Shoot, I was looking at what was being put out there, and when YouTube, before Google bought it, the YouTube was more so like um talking about a lot of politics and other forms of entertainment. It wasn't like this now. YouTube
Right, right, right.
has morphed. evolved into something different. Now, more or less, that's to be determined by that person who's looking at it. But over time, YouTube has picked up so much different views and ideas and energies, and is added this, added that. So here we are today, in which, as I said, I fell into some of these spaces like, okay, this is what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whereas I said for my channel, I understood it, there for there to be any type of longevity, you have to implement a format. You know what I mean? You implement a format. And this is only from my position and how I laid out my channel, right? I said I had to lay out a format and put it in a way where content isn't an issue. If content is the issue, is like, what am I going to talk about today? Because I got all this content. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So my deal is to say, okay, I lay out a format and stay with the format. I don't have to. I say, oh, this day I got this day I got that. I mean, like my Wednesday work random reads. Tell me when I'm going to ever run out of something to read.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You always had good Wednesdays. Yeah. I have to be checking what I mean? Stuff out. Yeah. You're consistent.
Yeah. I'm not going to ever run out of anything to read. Okay.
Right.
Right.
You never do. Yeah.
I'm just saying that, for in my humble opinion, longevity requires some type of format, and you implementing discipline, as in staying on to what that structure is when it comes to your format, and having your content is not going to be 100 all the time. Okay. I mean, you may have your own personal feelings about it. I say all the time, hey, I like all my material, some more than other. You know what I mean? But the point is, other people are listening to your content, so they're saying, well, I like this one and I didn't like this one. Okay. But the point is, you are, as long as you are consistent and you continually hone in on what content is gonna work, and it's not, to your point, constantly going back to the same thing. It's back to the same thing. It becomes redundant, and then you lose steam because your material has become redundant, right?
Right.
Who wants to watch? I mean, I can do it, but who wants to watch the same movie over and over, even though people eventually change the channel if it's saying the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And what I've noticed over the years, I try to be different with different topics. I mean, it's similar stuff, but sometimes I try to make it interesting in the, I would say, like, talking points.
Yes, sir.
When I look at broadcasting itself back then, it was a little different. Yeah, old YouTube was very political. They had groups.
Yeah.
I do remember 07. They kept the 05 format for 3 years. They didn't really step in until 2008 when they added that partner stuff. I do remember that from my old channel, and a lot of people said, why? Because back then Google wasn't as strict in 06. So they was kind of learning YouTube what it was. They didn't know what they was gonna make out of it until 08. That's when they really stepped in. That's when you see a lot of they really made restrictions back then. And then back then you had to make 10-minute videos. And then I remember if you add more videos in time, that's in recent years, I would say like somewhere around 09 and 2000 until now. That's when they start adding that in your phone number. And the trick is, if you want more, you have to add more to your videos, and that's how you get viewership and subscribers back then. Now it's about views in real time, in streaming. But what I've noticed the difference back then in I would say like from 05, from 2012, that's when YouTube was trying to make a big leap, because the smartphone came out and changed everything. That's what kind of kill the pre-recorder. Just as me per se, or factually,
Mm-hmm.
or personal opinion. I'm just saying, like, from a former pre-recorder myself, I'm like, yeah, it's different. I tried to Cuda. Back then it was a little different. Live streams back then, you had Blog Talk, you had others, and then you had others that just build off of that. And then what you see from Google Hangouts, that didn't last long. But
Mm-hmm.
these formats will last because you can do what you want. You can have a gear setting podcast, basically audio, and then you have your broadcast with the smart headphones. Because I think I told this over at Mace. I said, no, the trick is everything's going to be smaller in tech, but you're still
Mm-hmm.
using the same podcast method. That's the thing now. And I've noticed that too.
Yeah. Well, the back when, I keep going back to before Google had took over.
Yeah.
Uh, YouTube was, as I said, predominantly a news source and entertainment source, like videos, music videos. Because they took off from like MySpace and
Right.
those, and they was the offshoot of that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then YouTube started evolving, and then Google hopped in, and like you said, tried was learning what they had going for them, and then Google implemented new guidelines, right?
Right. Right. Right.
And that continued to change, because look, if you go back, you look at the old channels, well, you can even see in the address, they have a code number, versus if you look at the ones that maintain the channel, kept their channel, and they would kind of grandfathered in. Well, their address will say what that channel was named, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
my
I
channel.
remember that. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
yeah. My channel still has that. Okay,
Yeah.
it's grandfathered in. It's locked in,
Yeah.
right? So these are changes. So it's reading. It's reading different. Things are being read different. I don't know, for the best or for the worst. I don't know, but we see different streams now, that because once again, back when MySpace and all that was headed out the door, right? Now then YouTube, and then you started picking up these newer channels or platforms, and these newer platforms started, was being able to stand in, but they didn't have the push like YouTube did, because Google was already, on that part where they become what is that, where they're the main search, the search engine.
Right.
They
Right.
was Google was a major search engine. So
Yeah.
when YouTube fell under that, well, who else is going to go with that? Google's already pushing that weight on them, right?
Yeah.
On
Right.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Bing tried to, be on that page, but we see Google is hands down running it at currently.
They
So
still are. It's like an
yeah,
iron fist.
yes,
Even
sir.
though I don't want to say they're controlled by like the agencies like the CIA, because they got former guys that's from there and they build
Uh-huh.
some tech guys. I hate to say that. I think Alex Jones referenced that on the side. I don't know why he put that out there, and they kind of told him hush hush about it. But Google, it's a team, and I think
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is it in Silicon Valley, that group of guys and a combination of former agents came together and said, look, we're going to deal with tech and algorithms and things. It all came from those agencies. See, tech
Mhm,
in general in the
mhm,
military, that's big business. And
mhm,
when you see these tech guys, they learn from these schools. You don't go to school for that. You have to learn from those guys from the military. It's a combination, like
the combination
and
of, yeah.
yeah, with the industrial complex. And that's a big
Mhm,
corporation. See, corporations, what they do is they put tech out, and then I think Google at one time in the 90s, it was it was really on the bottom. It was nothing until some guys, like I said, stepped in and made it bigger. And then
mhm,
Google became like a giant in '03. And that's when you started the explosion. And over years, they knew what they wanted to do. And then I think YouTube was brand new for these PayPal guys. It started in '05. because it was a newer site. It was an offshoot of MySpace and other social networks back then. So they didn't call it social media; it's called social network. You was networking, and then later, when it got big and it got popular that first year, the next year they didn't really step in '06. They just kept it afloat. So at the time, I'm looking at from '06 and '07, that was the best years of YouTube. And then '08 came around. It changed the ball game. But that's what happened. That's what happened to YouTube. And like you said with the addresses, man, I'll never forget the time that you could put your whole address in the email address too and set it up. Not from Google now, because Google done smothered everybody into one box. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing. That's just the thing now. It's a big giant. And nobody's competing with. Every video sharing site tried to destroy Google and YouTube, and they failed because you still got Vimeo, you got others, and I think you still got Rumble. I think Someone Black's over there, and you do have this new one. I think he mentioned it's called Vocal. I don't know if it's going to be any good, you know what I'm saying? But Google is looking for a competitor right now, you know, but these other ones, they ain't competing. They just on the tail end, you know, like Twitter, Instagram. So, you know, yeah.
Well, Google is a search engine. That's what it is. They
Yeah.
just happen to utilize those tentacles to touch everything else, right? But Google is a search engine. It's what it is. Okay, so you know, people when people were, you know, started saying, "Hey, just Google it," right?
Yeah.
Google it.
Right.
You know, they knew what they had, right? All they had to do was stay on point with it and keep adding to, and then those tentacles, like I said, started touching everything else, right?
Right.
They had the people to say, okay, we're gonna move over here. We're a search engine, but we're gonna put our energies toward this, towards that. We're gonna have a Google Voice. We're gonna have I still have Hangouts, and you know what I mean. It didn't turn out like they wanted it, but the point is they got that information though, right? So when you get the information and you're not using it right now, you hold it to use it later. You might have to change up some things, but you use it later and say, okay, you repackage it and resell it, right? You know, so that's what's happened, you know, and what we're dealing with now. So
Yeah.
you know, but I hey, look, man, you know, I'm a little old man. You heard me say that a few times, sir. Oh,
Yeah. On your
yeah,
panel. Yeah.
I'm
With
a little
you and
old
Joey.
man. So.
Yeah. You've
Should
been
have gave me
around.
technology.
Yeah, I understand. I know. I mean, the way you said it when you called me up to the panel, man, it was that was probably the best builds I've been on since in a while, since last year. And
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you though. But you know, you've been here longer than anybody. I think Wacky, Soul and Black. That came out of that era of Black YouTube, and the site there was a Manosphere that was created in '08. So and the way it spawned out, man, it took years of changes and people had to learn the format, you know. But Google Hangouts, I didn't know y'all was chatting like this. I said, damn,
Yeah,
where was I? And I was in the workplace at the time. I
yeah,
wasn't even messing with Google stuff, you know, because I already know about their products. And I said,
yeah.
man, I could have been in on those discussions. But, you know, but that's what I'm doing with this video with Cuda I saw this morning in his
Yes,
old
sir.
stuff. I said, that's what the type of stuff that I like. You know, he didn't just always had the music, I've noticed. And I was like, he upgraded it. Then he evolved. And I told him that every time, like, more, if you keep evolving like this, that it will take you to the next level. So yeah, everybody is doing fairly good. You know, it's not bad. It's just a new format. But
Yeah.
technology just don't change. It just the reason it's keeping faster because what we're doing is a build up a bit of something bigger, you know, and some people just want to being part of the broadcasting or podcasting because you notice in the sports podcast they need job openings, you know. I'd say fans need to be entertained, and when Marv was saying that there was a lot of openings on teams and TV stations, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money, you know. You talk about extra equipment right there. So, you're working for them, because it's one day at a time. He said somebody in the Manosphere comes out. It's just one day at a time. See, Kevin's just one,
Right.
but it's one person at a time. They don't want the whole space. They want a certain person they want. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, we talked about this last time. He said the next person that comes through, he ain't even a part of it. He just, if he was a follower of ours or whatever, it could be anybody. But if he's groomed like Kevin was, it's a different ball game. So, now who's going to be the blueprint of two guys that came out, you know what I'm saying, of this
Right.
generation? Because
Right.
see, I'm getting older and realize, yeah, these dudes is doing it. Yeah, I've done it longer because I was young back then. I was like in my teens when I started this.
Man, you
Because
still
see,
young. Stop it,
yeah,
Sir.
yeah, I know, I know, I know,
You still a
I
young
know,
brother.
I know, I know. But I mean, at heart. But I'm just saying, when you get older, you realize you can't do the stuff you do when you're in your
Yes,
teens
sir.
and stuff. When I started on the internet, like I look at them
Uh-huh.
now, I'm like, y'all did this, and I did the copyright thing, I did the music
Mm-hmm.
thing, I did
Mm-hmm.
the pre-records of my own self from
Mm-hmm.
this, and y'all doing like buying subscribe. I never heard such stuff like a program, an app program. Google's like, I don't know what they're doing, but that's tech for you. Like if you want to
Right.
be ahead, it's
Yeah.
just it's just crazy, man. But I get what they're trying to do. Trying to be up there with those million subscribers. That's hard to maintain. I mean, they just
Yeah.
get to know this real quick. Mhm.
Hey, I did my broadcast this morning and I was talking about that. What I was speaking about my nephew. My nephew is 20, and I be with him and listening and watching what he doing and stuff like that. And I had made mention he had put something on YouTube, and he had this one brother on there, young brother. Uh, the brother had 1.48 million people, subscribers. Right
Mm.
now, I've said before, there are many people that got. I mean, YouTube is massive. Okay, I mean, there's quite a few people with a million subscribers. Okay, it just depends on what you go looking for,
Right,
right?
you
Depends
do.
on what you go looking for. So, when the brother made his 1 million, I was questioning, well, why is everybody putting weight on? Because I mean, it's accomplishment. You know what I mean?
It's
You
nice.
can't
Yeah.
take that away from him. He made it right to
Right.
that.
Right.
But I'm just saying that there's brothers out there that got 1 million, 2 million. There's people.
14 million, 99 million.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
could tell you about PewDiePie, how he got 99 million. He did a lot of video gaming streams before they
yeah.
had this format and the
Hmm.
pre-records. He remembers those days. He see a lot of these people come from the old YouTube, man,
Yeah,
when it was
yeah,
formatted right. But the video game era kind of killed it in '07 because that's where it started. Because a lot of politics stuff's kind of bogged down.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
when I saw it then. I said, oh man, '09, that's when they really got their push. And that's when they said, we gotta let this old stuff go. So I knew YouTube was changing and I didn't see it
yeah,
until
yeah.
like 2 to 3 years later. And I was like, oh man,
The
I missed
evolving.
yeah, yeah, evolving. But you gotta get with it. That's just
Yeah,
technology for you. You gotta get with the times
you
and
gotta make a decision whether you're gonna do
yeah,
it or not. You
or
know.
not. Yeah, it's just like what Gully TV said, like all that stuff that they was putting titles in his name, but eventually, if you don't keep up, like you said, the content, like I mentioned this on
Mhm.
the channel before, they disappear. Where they at now? They're gone. It's all
Right,
about consistency, who you are. You're not just putting content, but who you are in general. Because
yeah,
are you that person? You know, that's what
right,
people look
right,
for. That's what people look
right.
for on YouTube.
How
I hate to say
genuine
that.
are you?
Yeah, yeah.
How genuine are you?
Are you
Because
about
people are
this?
gonna have their perception of you.
Yeah.
They're going to listen to you, and there are those who make it their job to find the ills about you and say, oh, that's not who that person really is.
That's
They
normal.
make it a
Yeah.
living to do
Live
that.
and do that. Yeah. And it's normal, man. But that's part with the
Yeah,
territory. But then when they really meet you, if you're not that type of person, then they'll
right.
be shocked. It goes both ways because what it
Yes, sir.
is, you just got to behave a certain way now because since you got this following, and it's funny though, and I mentioned this before on the panel, like they can recognize you based off the folks who you're talking to, and they say, "Are you the guy who was on the internet?" Yeah, and they'd be shocked. And I think Wacky told the story about Goku's son, and then he walked up to him and he didn't know who he was, and he said, "That's the guy we following this stuff." And it's interesting. This is I think it was back in the day when he said that, and the way he said it. Yeah, you could be found out. I mean, this is a lot easier than it was back then. You know what I'm saying? With the docs and stuff, I don't agree with, but to get famous, I mean, that's just wild to me. I mean,
yeah, when people take time to do that, I can see somebody going at you personally, like they talking about your own personal your own person, right? But when they go at the external you, the external parts of you, that's a problem to me, man.
yeah,
that's a problem. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through all that. You got to talk about, you got to go in on my family and my friends and whoever
right.
else. You can't keep that right here. Okay, you say I'm an ugly brother. Okay, I'm ugly but attractive. What you got next?
Yeah.
What else you got now, brother?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's sad that this type of format exposes people, and it hurts a person's reputation. It depends on how you take it. Now, if you endure that, I mean, I commend the ones that survive it. I mean, I hate to say that too because there's pros and cons to it. It's just like what Justice said in this stream. He said, Tommy makes a living off of that. When his channels got terminated and he doxed himself and people found out where he lived and stuff. He's been there. So he can tell you better than anybody. Now, him and everybody else, that takes a lot of guts. That takes a lot of balls to say, look, I can endure this. You make fun of me over something simple. And it's sad, and our people's like that. I mean, I hate to say that, I know white folks, everybody else do it as the norm for different reasons, but it's really the same. I don't see that much different because ours is like personal. I'm like, wow. Like I never understood that.
I just desire not to put that kind of time into. It
Yeah.
ain't that serious, man.
Yeah, it ain't. I kind of laugh at it, like you hating on my family and stuff. Like, I ain't got my personal family of my own, but in my even family, like my parents, that's it. But outside of that, I'm like, what's the point? What's the message of helping people?
What's the win, man?
What's the end
win?
game?
What is the win? I mean, okay, you did that. All right, you said that. Okay, you told this about me. Okay, you said that. Now, what's the win? What is the win? Are you winning? You know what I mean? You took time out to say all this and expose me. Okay, what's the win? What do you gain out of that? You know what I mean?
What's the end goal? It's sad. And the sad part about it, it's like over something small over numbers. And I understand the animosity, but wow, man. But this is like in debates, and what I've noticed in these panels, say you're gonna dox somebody, you just gave yourself away. And I kind of laugh at them like, dude, don't you understand that's kind of like illegal, but Google can't watch everybody because they ain't got enough robots to track people. And sometimes they just don't care because if a lot of those the people that got millions of subscribers don't have time for YouTube, there's other platforms in the world besides YouTube. They ain't gonna mess with it, and they just want somebody to replace that person. So yeah, that person can be replaced. Oh yeah, to take his spot for some years. That's why I learned about this site, and I had to be careful because Google and YouTube is known for that. This is kind of like mainstream media in your face on the other side of the sphere. And not only that, see, we're like alternative. We're on underground, I mean, they watch the stuff. And I told Cuda, of course they watch celebrities, people. You think they ain't watching small channels? Well, they've been doing that since inception when this site was built. I mean,
it's practice.
It's practice.
It's practice, boy.
Yeah.
Let's pick a channel and we're gonna listen in.
Yeah.
Decide what we're gonna do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got a new person in and say, okay, I want you to listen to this channel. It only has one viewer and only has one subscriber. I want you to listen to that for however long they own. it's,
Yeah,
it's practice.
yeah, it's straight up practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they skywatch you in the clouds, man, like
Uh-huh.
you'd be surprised. I'm like, wow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
Yeah.
it ain't just the talking points; it's the cadence of it too. It ain't just; it's more to it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you're actually doing this or pre-records, I said, Cuda, they've done this before. This ain't nothing new. It's just like I think he said most of the athletes and people watching. So, well, everybody. It ain't just black. It's white athletes. It's a combination of people. If they like your content of substance, look at the what they call the white men. I call them mainstream men because they in the mainstream with the gear and stuff. They
Mm-hmm.
know who's who over here. You know, they know who's good and know who's bad, who's quality for TV or not. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just
Mm-hmm.
part of it. And I think Jay Speed said it best on the Prophet of Thought series. He said, "You're basically in that part of broadcast. You know, whether you like it or not. You know, because." You're gonna be forced to get a microphone regardless. Like say like the cell phone, for instance, like the one I got now that's a Stylo Plus 6, the new version,
Uh-huh.
and they already add in dynamic mics to it. That's why I heard Cuda was saying, yes, they're gonna continue with that if you're doing this type of podcast, because the next thing you know, you start they're gonna make them smaller. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just how tech is. You know, tech is gonna find a way to put thing in one box. You know, that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing I don't like about tech, but I understand why, because they're trying to sell it to the customer. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
They
Hey,
want something shiny. You know.
hey, you remember we used to have uh, big radios, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
The
remember.
the headphones and stuff, and then we started having the Walkman, right?
I remember the Walkman. I
We
took that
had the
in high
Walkman,
school.
and then we
Yeah,
had
right, right.
the big headphones, right? Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, we had the iPod. It got
Uh-huh.
smaller and
Smaller and
smaller,
smaller and
right?
faster, and the tech gets faster and
Yeah,
faster. Even the
yeah,
laptops. It's just
yeah, yeah.
wow. And
Next
they
thing you
trying to get
know,
yeah, and the studios get smaller.
I seen this little cartoon,
Uh-huh.
and it showed that, right, and then it went back, because things that go back and forth, right? So
Right.
we went from the iPod to now you carrying around a laptop and it's small headphones.
Yeah, small headphones. I remember
Small
I had the big
headphones, but
one.
now you got a laptop,
Yeah,
playing your music, right?
all that.
you know?
Earpiece, you
Yeah,
know.
earpiece, man.
Piece,
Because
yeah.
remember we had the big muff headphones, right? We had the
Yeah, I
big
remember
muff
those. I
headphones.
remember
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
So just kind of funny how that lays out, man.
Yeah, even the gaming headphones, they're big, but they're not big. They're really
Right.
small, and they're
Right.
making them smaller. And it's gonna get to the point that the mic is gonna be next. You know, like
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I try to tell Kuda, everything's gonna get smaller. That dynamic mics that you got,
Uh,
they're gonna
uh-huh.
make them smaller and make them better, because the tech and the internet, it's gonna be a different game changing. They say you can do all this. I said, yeah. He showed us a thing on the third shift. He said you can do your whole series. Yeah, those small that's gonna be required. Then you're gonna get something better, be smaller than that. You know, click of a
Yeah.
button, and
But see, here's
that's
the
what they're doing.
problem though.
Yeah,
Here's the problem. When you try to keep up with all that,
yeah,
it's never end. It's like you constantly buying a cell phone. There's all
yeah,
next year gonna be a new cell phone. And the
yeah.
next year, new cell phone.
That's
To
what it
keep up
is,
with
and
all
I've
that,
noticed that.
man.
I've noticed that, and if the gears get small like that, it's gonna be. That's what I'm saying. The cell phone was the first iteration of that, and then when you
Yeah,
start looking
yeah.
at it now, you'd be like, wow. So all the gear of tech's gonna be like that. The
Right.
replacement. I mean, the computers and cell phones been doing that for years, but now it's the actual gear that you wear on yourself.
Hey,
And I'm
sir.
shaking my head. Yeah,
Look, they're gonna have that. You have this mic? It's invisible. It's
visible,
invisible.
visible.
This mic is invisible.
Right,
Like, it's
right.
invisible.
Well, what?
Where you put it at? Oh, you just put it right here under your fingernail, and it'll pick up everything.
You say
You know what I'm saying?
right.
You put it under your index fingernail, and if it's nice, it won't bother nothing and nothing, and you can hear everything. Just point your finger to your mouth and you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
snap.
boy.
That's
Oh
no,
boy.
hey man, I'm telling you.
It's no end. Like,
Hey, no end. They're gonna have you swallowing something, right?
oh
We
man.
could tell you about
That's
your insides. Well,
inside.
they already got
Whoa.
something. They already can go inside you, right? And
Oh
see,
man.
look, man, you guys don't stop playing. If they putting these chips in your clothes and on your dog, they can put it in something where you swallow it and it's in you for a little bit, and then I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I'm just
Yeah.
throwing it out there, man.
Or use a chip as of a
Yeah,
bathroom thing to check your DNA if you're sick, if you're gonna have
yeah,
a sinus attack or a heart attack, and then the
right,
health stuff, it just goes crazy.
right, right.
Yeah.
Look, okay, there was a time when you had to go into the hospital and they had to put the monitors on you to do a cardiogram on you, right? Just to
Hmm.
check what your heart is doing, right?
Right.
Well,
Right.
now you can go on and get a little thing and put your thumbs on it, and it to give you a whole readout. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? A whole readout of what your heart is doing.
Right.
All right. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whole hookup. It's not a whole. You just put your thumbs on that thing, and it'll give you a whole readout, brother.
Hmm.
Tell you what your heart doing. Okay.
What your heart look like?
What your heart look like? Just make your internet connection. It'll give you a whole readout. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Hey man, this is what we dealing with. This is what we in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, sir. For sure.
Yeah,
So
and that's like the future, and I'm seeing it like in real time. Like, wow, But see, I understand the boom arms and the thing. That's cool, but what happens if they make them smaller? And that's the scary part. Like the studios get smaller. Like we don't build this type of studio no more. In
yeah.
certain parts, in construction, because everything is getting smaller and smaller. I mean, even my dad, when we talk about this tech stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna get smaller, man. It's gonna get to a point that you're gonna have to do some type of broadcast or pod. See, basically with broadcast, but podcast is a whole nother level. And when I see from Devin Wade's show, they had those mics sitting in the floor with the stands on them, right? You
Mhm,
talk to them, and I'm like, the way you talk to people in the interview, it gets better and better. And it takes skill. This is just like a test to see, are we built for that? Kevin came a long way. Yes. Shouts out to Zach for this on Cuda's. He said, yeah, he gave him that mic inspiration. That's true. But Kevin did all of himself. Yeah, Cuda had some credit, but it was really Kevin's credit what he did. He took the initiative to learn from himself. He said, well, damn, if I want to be this, that's how he got successful. Think about it. Not only that, he showed himself to the
mhm.
world.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
had
why
to put
people
in the
like
work.
you. Yeah, yeah. You have to put in the work. It's not just the suit. No, it's his personality. The suit, that's
Mhm,
part of it. Hell, you can have a
mhm.
bad suit. He's a nice, decent, handsome guy. But if you have that cadence that people like, and you're not threatening, and they like a finesse world, you're gonna make it. You don't want no
And what is
rugged
he
guy.
willing to say? And what is he willing to say? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? What
Yeah.
are you willing to say? And if you're willing to say it, are you willing to stand on it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's
you
taking
know,
a risk, but he's
yeah.
being very careful. But what I like that people like that, they're honest with it. Like just go
Mhm,
ahead and do it. Like see, us, we're too raw for them. See, some of us will tone it down, some can't. But there's other avenues you can work there. If you're trying to go big like Hollywood, they really wanted you to turn down. Now, if you
mhm.
like the raunchy stuff, there's a place for that. There's
Right, right,
areas for that, and they tell
right.
you that. And I
Mhm,
think YouTube is going to do something like that in the future for sectors like that. So no, that ain't going to go away because that's where they get their money at. Because the clean stuff, that's just for people for the higher ups that want to sell you something on advertising. You just trying to be
right.
on TV, like in the sports. And I saw this
Mhm.
on a playoff game. I saw one of the guys did the food. I'm like, wow. I saw him from YouTube, and now he's on TV doing commercials for Burger King. I was like, what the
Uh-huh.
world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, don't believe, don't you not one time forget. nor believe that people aren't watching you. You know,
Yeah.
people watch people, you know, there's a reason why they call it the clouds.
Yes.
People
Yes.
in the clouds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They listening, they looking, they say, "Oh, I like that. You know what? I'm gonna make contact with that person." Or they say, "Oh, I like that. I'm gonna use that for my talking point." You know, people.
Mhm.
I mean, them clouds. The clouds are there for a reason. You know what I'm
Very
saying?
recent. Yeah.
I mean, it is that's the clouds are for people who want to just kind of breeze through and see what people are talking about. You know?
And the replays, that's another
Yeah.
thing. Like I said, I come from pre-recorded. I understand everything can be
Mhm.
recorded, but if it's a replay value and that's good value in how we handle people on panels and how we handle
Right.
just anybody, male or female, they're gonna look at that and say, man, this guy's got great cadence. He cammed up a few times. Okay.
Right. Right.
What else he can do? You know what I'm saying? They're looking for the next hit guy now because see, Kevin is a testing ground. The
Mm-hmm.
next guy's gonna have to be explosive. You know, that's what
Well,
they want.
I just want to say everybody can go.
No, everybody can't go. It's only a handful.
Everybody
Like I
can
said,
go, man.
it's just a piece. It's a piece by piece, and I agree with Cuda and B just said it's a piece by piece. It ain't for everybody. It's
Mm-hmm.
a certain person. You got to be that person. If you're willing to do that, people gonna say, "Well, damn, he
Mm-hmm.
got these type of followers." Yeah, it's a handful. And the ones
Mm-hmm.
that staying here, they're consistent. They're meant for the people that's changing lives. Now we know those individuals that made it. They know us. They just don't mention our name, and they shouldn't because
Mm-hmm.
they're thinking about success, and it's a smart
Mm-hmm.
thing to do.
They
Because you
moving
can't
in the
mention
right direction.
you can't mention Anger Man and BGS because that exposed what the space is really about. But it's
Mm-hmm.
more to it. But you are helping people, and they're gonna look at it. I said they've been saying this stuff for years. I know. And then you got other race of men doing the same, going through the same problems, and they look at
Mm-hmm.
these spaces as well. You know, for boys and stuff. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
manosphere is just a whole big thing. The only difference is the black manosphere is a small cog of other male spaces. That's all it is. You know, it's layers. You know, and the more people you talk to in the chats and different sectors of channels, they tell you like, man, we watch this stuff over there. You know, and what Kuda was saying, that's a big deal. You know, and people are waiting on us what we're gonna do. I mean, we're gonna be fine if this
Mm-hmm.
format gets better and we get better. People say, well, damn, I'm gonna do this. You know, and
Yes,
then the
sir.
people in
Yes, sir.
TV, yeah, that's just what it is. It's the product
Mm-hmm.
you got to sell. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Yes, sir. And then you got to look at what your own product looks like, what it's saying. How much do you believe in your product? You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean? You can't expect others to fall in line with your product, and you don't believe in your product, right?
right.
How that work?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So when I would do my content, I believe in my content because it's something I do. You know what I'm saying? It's something I do every day. So it makes sense to me uh, to believe in what I do because it's what I do on a regular basis. You know what I mean? If somebody decided to throw the flag on the play, yeah, it's okay. You know, I leave these streets and whatever it is, I'm still gonna be me and say the same thing and express the same thing I've been doing, or show the same thing, give the same type of energies to what I've been doing. So and people will see that in you as you continually speak, and they see how consistent you are with what you're talking about. So that's what it is. You there,
yeah,
brother? Do I have to
yeah.
take
I'm
over the
dead.
show? Do I have to take
No,
over?
no, no. No, I'm just listening to crazy
You're now
fireworks. And
listening to
yeah, I was listening to crazy fireworks. It's still going over here. And then what you just said, yeah, because your content is it's similar to someone I know personally, like on these
Uh-huh.
spaces. Like you're in that category with us and Wacky, but you're a little different because you talk about veterans. You talk about a lot of stuff like that's relative right now. You know, of the situation. Like the way you have your channel structure, I like it. It's fair. You let people, listen to you. and you just put it into work, and you're consistent with it, man. I mean, when I look at your chat room, it don't have to be crazy, but it's good conversation. The way you said
Yes,
that
sir.
day with Joey, man, like, yeah, I appreciate it. But I'm like, yeah, because I said this over at Cuda's about that conversation. I said, yeah, what I look at it is the age differences. We can have that civil talk, and it's
Yes,
okay
sir.
to without the yelling and shouting, screaming, and try and prove who's right, who's wrong in debates
Mhm.
and politics and stuff.
Cussing each other out.
Yeah, all that screaming and yelling, like, being feminine over here. Yeah, blah, 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 and all that, But now it's like when I was talking to you and Joey, I said, well, this is a good conversation. That was actually a damn great stream to me.
Well, I'm gonna just say, and I did a stream, whereas it was, and it was on my Health Talk Live, I think.
Hmm.
I don't
Hmm.
remember, but I was the oldest one, and all the rest was 40 and below, between 20 and 40. you
Hmm.
know and I'm saying, these are young brothers who desire to, whether they admit it or not, or wherever, they desire to hear something to help them continue to grow. There's a reason they are, I mean, because they could be anywhere, right? They
Yeah,
can
yeah,
go anywhere, but no, they decide to spend their time with me, right?
right.
And perhaps it's because they can, they don't have to experience the aggressions that they probably experience on a regular basis. They probably can, hear, uh, hear something being said through all the noise that they're probably hearing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because a lot of times, uh, these young brothers are hearing the noise, and that they're trying to hear the peace, man. They're trying to hear something that will help them continue on, because they can perhaps be in a position where the noise is taking over and they don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? So I strive to be that voice where they can hear. And I'm not saying I'm going to be always correct, because I always say, hey, look, man, I'm not above reproach. I'm not. I am. Um, you know, up for correction. You know, I'm not short from correction. If I'm incorrect about something, then apply correction. Okay. So, it is not a thing of, I ain't trying to hear what you're trying to say. I'm right the whole way.
Hmm.
I'm want to hear you out, and we go into the conversation about it. You know what I mean? And now I tend to, because sometimes people will say, "Well, you keep asking me the same question." Well, it's because either you went away from the question or you gave me a roundabout question. Okay. So I'll come back to it, or answer. I mean, I'll come back to it and ask the question, and reword the question. And because I'm trying to get to the deeper part of the the conversation, and perhaps we can, grow and learn from this. Perhaps somebody else in the clouds is listening to what's being said, and they're experiencing something, and they say, and they say to themselves, oh, I really needed to hear this aspect of it. Now I do know that YouTube is known for entertainment. I do understand that.
Right,
Okay.
right,
And
right.
there are a lot
Absolutely.
of people who just come to these spaces just to look for the entertainment. Okay. Okay, I acknowledge that. But at the same time, me doing a broadcast, do I always have to stay on that page of entertainment?
No.
Is that I mean, look at Dick Gregory. All right. Dick Gregory was what? An entertainer. But he changed the game, and said, I gotta do something more than entertainment. Can I say things that are entertaining? Sure. But here's where I'm at. Okay. Look at Bill. I mean, of course, Bill has been in the news lately, but Can he say things that are entertaining? Yes, but where's his energies at? Oh, his desire is to help uh the black family. So for me, I keep that same energy. I'm not as big as an entertainer. I'm a little guy on the pole, but look, I can go out and see that brother laid out. Okay, he's laid out, practically looking like his life is ended. But I go out and say, "Hey, brother, you all right?" And pull him up and say, "Hey, man, you gotta get you together." See, that means something. You see, I've done this. As an instructor, especially professor. I mean, people don't know. Um, I've helped many kids, many young black boys, um, girls as well, adults, talk them through things and help. Hey, I've been at it. Okay, so for me, um, when you're about um, you know yourself, and me as a black man, I'm about the black man. It means something, regardless if you have $1 billion or $1. What is your time and energy looking like? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing with that? Because
Right,
that's where
right,
it's at. You know what I mean? That carries more meaning than anything. I may not have a dollar to give you, right? I may not have a dollar to give you, but look, I got this car right here, and I can take you over to your parents' house, or to your girlfriend's house, or to your husband's house, whichever one it is, and get you some assistance to help you move through, to make it through, because they may have that dollar. I got the gas to go get you to get that dollar. You know what I mean? So the point is, I'm about helping. Now, I've said that everybody can't go, so that means I can't help everybody. Okay,
right, right. Exactly. Yeah.
and when you have an understanding of that, you're going to have to make some decisions here. Some people, they deserve the help. I don't even want to say deserve. Okay, I don't want to say that. Some people are in need of that help, and you have to make a decision whether you're going to help them or not. You have to determine whether they're just using you or they're genuine with what they need. Okay, that is on you to decide that. Okay, and when you make that decision, you stay with that decision. You know, don't look back on it like, man, I messed up. Nah, you if you gave that person that change in your pocket, okay, that it is, and they go, spend it on that fifth for gin. That's what they decided.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That is what they
Yeah.
decided.
That's
Your
choices. Hmm.
yes, your giving goes higher than that. It's much more than that. Okay. You got to, I've said numerous times that you got to put your money in the plate when it comes to your next life, the universe. When you dealing with the universe, man, you know what I'm saying? People tend to forget that we are so connected to the universe. Okay. When you understand the core of you, when you understand that, then you're going to look at different things differently. You're not going to be just surface level. Okay. When you understand what your connection is, and when you constantly, uh, speak word into the universe. And I've said many times over, when you speak word into the universe, you're able to move the universe. You're able to move it. But okay, I'm all right. So, sir, I'm kind of going in to
Yeah,
too
but
deep.
what you're saying is it's absolutely, that's something you got to do on your own. Like, it's a choice. I mean, choices matter. Like, it's within.
Yeah.
But basically, you're just looking at it from, that's a good perspective to have. Everybody can't make it. It's only a handful of individuals you can help. But what I've noticed is, if they need it or not. But the choice I would make is, like, they improve on themselves first before they get to that next level. I mean,
Yes, sir.
but when you get to that level, if it's me or whoever, that's some changes you got to live with. And can you live with that? And that's why I kind of trying to teach on this channel, like, to sustain it. And I think I'm going to talk about it this weekend on the 10th, because
Mm-hmm.
that's how you keep your content. You got to be consistent with yourself, stay on message, and sometimes just be different. And it's okay
Yeah.
to laugh and live a little bit. And sometimes you can have hobbies and do things that's more out of realm, And I think CG3, we was talking about, it was a stream I did, and we was talking about something. He said, he asked me what I really want in the world. I said, man, if I was like a ruler, I'd be a positive ruler instead of a violent ruler. And we laughed about it. And then he said, man, I'm gonna make a stream about that. We was laughing on it on the panel. He said, let me go before I change the conversation. And the way he said it, and he said, yeah, I just want to rule the world or something. That was in my thought. I always think about that when I get offline.
Let me ask you
I
though,
was just
Sir
playing
O.
though.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you, Sir O. Could you
Mhm.
be a ruler without violence?
I couldn't, I was saying that to CG3. I said I couldn't, but it's a risk, that's a special type person you can, but that was just, I always have those thoughts,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
growing up, and I was like, man, if I was positive trying to save everybody, what would that be like? You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
even then, you still got to defend your country, whatever, because a lot of those dudes, they end up dying. So it
Yeah,
hasn't
defend
happened
the
yet.
throne.
Yeah, yeah. And then me and him was laughing about it. I said, well, if we did have peace in the world, what would that look like? See, a lot of people never had it. That's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
And I look
Mm-hmm.
at that and I was like, I couldn't be it. Not in this time, no, because people, it's strife, poverty, different
Mm-hmm.
systems.
Mm-hmm.
I'll change everything about it, but you can't do it by yourself. The people has to agree to it. That's the thing, and that's one thing I
You
learned.
it would be a lot of killing.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of killing, a lot of
It'll be
process, a lot of
it'll be a
killing.
lot of killing, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you was okay, you know, especially if we're talking about now, okay, if you was one that says, you know what, I'm gonna be the ruler and I'm gonna create a place of peace, right? Well, for that to happen, you're gonna have to kill off a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to do a lot of warring, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
to for that to happen, because there are gonna be people who are about either taking over or they are about the chaos. You
Yes.
know, they are about, there's a word called anarchists.
Anarchists. Yeah. Oh
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah,
And not
anarchy.
only that, there's people that love the conquest all the time.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes that can wear you down as well. But I understand what you're saying. Yes, it's gonna be a lot of killing, but if you
Mhm.
kill certain groups that's deem a problem, yes. Because see, what I do is, if I would kill the ones that need to be killed. But if you got people that agrees with that person, that's gonna be a lot of people gone. But I think that's part of the. I told this to CG3. Yeah, that's part of the utilitarian process of the military. And I look at that theory as that's
Mhm.
part of it. The greatest number of happiness. It's a lot of sacrifice. That's why a lot of people can't do that theory, because it's very difficult, because most people be like, well, how can you be happy and you want peace at the same time? Well, it's not easy, because you're gonna have to spill some blood to get through, and a lot of great leaders, they come through that, but they ain't never had no real peace that everybody was ceased, like a heaven type, like rulership. You ain't gonna see that until people make some changes. But conquest still exists. I mean, people still trying to take over small territory over here. It's like, just like the tech. It's like everybody's on top of each other. It's like, I gotta have this corner. I gotta have this corner of the market.
Mhm.
Your yard, your
Mhm.
parking space. It's just
Right, right.
it's sad, but it's kind of normal in the kingdom. I don't want to say animal kingdom, but it's just but
You know
that's just
what?
human beings, man.
If I- if I was to if I was to be a ruler, right?
Right.
Well, I would use something that people are more prone to take to than not. I
Hmm.
would implement religion. Uh-oh.
That part. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They don't want to hear that.
Uh-oh. You know what? I ain't gonna be starting nothing here, sir.
I'm not gonna go there with them people, But see, I try not to push it on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
man.
messing with Gold Professor.
Yeah.
Sir, oh.
Go Pete.
I know, man.
I know.
There he goes.
There you go.
Man. Here you go.
Bro. I mean, CG3 was trying to go there with me. I said, nah, because I was thinking about that and a combination of other things. Even with that theory, I mean, it's a part of it. It's not as amoral pragmatist as people think. It's a little bit, but you still got to believe in some form of the Most High. Like, you got to make a sacrifice. You got to be the risk. I mean,
man.
for someone else to rule, man.
Hey, there is a reason why the Bible refers to people as sheep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a reason. There's a reason. And I know, and I've seen it from experience, and that's like, that's deep. But but hey, I can't stop it. You only change a few people at a time. I'm just one person. But it's okay to dream. I told CJ, it's okay to dream, man. It's a great dream and a great wish. That's what I told him. When he asked me that question, I told him it's a great dream and a great wish. I answered him right.
Hey, look, man. There is something called a shepherd.
Yep.
There's something called sheep.
Sheep, right?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They
don't want to hear that, but
the shepherd will guide the sheep. How does he guide the sheep? How does he guide them? He religiously moves them.
That's right. Religiously moves. Called control.
He does it religiously.
Yep. And that's it on that.
I don't know why I'm playing with you, sir. Oh man. Look, man. Hey, sir, I gotta bounce out, brother. I appreciate you blessing me with your time and energy, man.
Oh, not a problem. You're always welcome, man. It's nice to rap to Go P, man.
I had a good hour with you.
Yeah.
Hey, I said he dropped the link. I came up here and we have a conversation. Yeah.
It was a good hour. I've been up here like 2 hours, but
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'm thankful, man.
Not a problem.
Before I bounce out, I'm curious about your avatar. Can you shine some light on that, sir?
This avatar. That's from a game from I think a Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. This is Aridin. That's the antagonist of the game. He's like the king of the elves. They call him the NL. The NLs has their own world, right? Like you said, religiously control the people, the humans, right? And there's another elf group called the Anshe. That's what you see in the game. They're kind of like what you see, what they've done to black people in the lynching and stuff. It's a Polish book story about a guy to explain about the elves. But the people that did the video game company, like CD Project Red, broke it down like it's separate from his books, but they kept it in the language of his story. And those people were bullied by the humans, right? And in slavery and submission in religion, right? But he does the same thing, but he wants power, because his country is losing power. He's from another dimension, another world called the it's called the NL, the NL people. So he's like a ruler, but he did kill a king elf. This is an elven race. So and then I got another picture of him too. So he explains what you're talking about. He's the king of the Wild Hunt, but he's like an invader. And here it goes right here.
Is that the one in your logo too?
Yeah, same thing. That's from a Gwent card. This is from a Gwent card too. And this is just him. You see in pictures. You can look this up and say Wild Hunt. You'll see him.
He looks like the Lord of the Rings dude, the kind of, sort of.
Yeah, and it's a better picture of him right here.
Yeah.
But there's a elven of him when he takes that helmet off. He looks like a space elf. But he has a lot of power. When I played that game and I understood, I was like, wow, he's so powerful. At the end game, because the first time I didn't face him until the final game, like the main story. Now they added DLCs to it, because that was based off what year was that? 1272. That was during the 13th century.
And that's an
Okay.
RPG game.
Yes, RPG game, but he's a villain. He's a villain. He's kind of like an invader. He was mentioned
Okay.
in the first two games, but finally you get to see him, what he's all
Mhm.
about. So yeah,
Mhm.
he's like a ruler, man. He killed
Okay.
the king to get to that spot, just like what we just discussed. Yeah, you got to be ruthless like him, but like he
Uh-huh.
said, religiously controlling people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
man.
I was just curious, brother. You know what I'm saying? Look like you're trying to rule something.
No, it's just to make others mad.
Trying
You
to
got to be
rule
the villain
something,
sometimes. Yeah, you
brother.
trying to be a villain sometimes, but see, I switch avatars every now and then. But you know how it is.
Yeah. Okay, I see you. I see you, brother. Look like you're trying to take over the world over there in that
Yeah.
avatar. Oh, hey, look, man. Hey, for y'all out there in the space, subscribe to Sir Obadiah. You know what I'm saying? Rock with him, man. Like I rock with him. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time and energy,
Yeah,
Sir O.
yo. And
Yeah.
y'all support Gold P, man. He always dropping knowledge, and him and she we here. Subscribe to the brother, man, and support his
Hey, look,
channel.
man. Look, man. I'm only doing what I do, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I'm appreciative of you, brother, for sharing my streams and stuff. I haven't made it to that level yet, So when I get
yeah,
there, hey,
yeah,
then I get there, But
yeah. I had to, just to support you, man. Like you always have
yeah,
good content. Just stopping by, say hello,
yes,
but
sir.
like
Well,
always.
you know what we always say: support the black men. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's a difference between saying it and doing it, right?
yeah. It's
You
a
know what I
big
mean?
difference. Yeah,
Big difference, man.
yeah.
Either you gonna do it or not. Do something.
Hmm.
Okay. Stop with all the wordplay, man. Either you gonna
Yeah,
do it or not. So,
right.
I make it a point. Hey, look, I render my time and energy to you. I'm up here with you and telling people, hey, look, support and subscribe to Sir Obadiah. I know he's trying to be a ruler. I know. Don't worry about that. Let him do what he do. Just support him. All right, brother. I'm
All
gone,
right,
man.
all right, all
I'm
right,
gone. Appreciate you, brother.
all
All
right.
right.
Peace. Yeah, man. Like I said before, I mean that's a shout out to Go People coming through, man. Like if y'all want to chop it up, I was just referring to Cuda's classic, man. Like it was a good stream, and I want to expound it on it. It was a good conversation we had. I'm just gonna put this in here and head on back. So, if y'all want to come up, I'm just gonna post it in the chat the second time around. This is round two. So yeah. Yeah. It's good. Like let's go on do it again. And then I'm just up here, man, just doing my thing. So uh yeah, it's been 2 hours for me. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Like, yeah, I explained to him like this icon, man, I'm slaying dudes right now. I'm on fire with it. I had to come with the hammer. So you know how it is. So y'all give me a couple of, I would say a couple of seconds, so I had to put something up, and I'll be right back. Oh, static. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had a good discussion with GoP. I mean, salute to the brother, man. Um, as I was saying about the video that I was talking about, the expound with those guys that was in Cuda stream, it's like a March stream, and it's called Manosphere Disarray. So that was the topic of the discussion. It was much, I explained it earlier in the, I'll say 50 minutes to an hour. And this video right here was talking about, please check it out. But the stuff he was saying is very consistent. So I appreciate looking at his content and stuff. So I'm good. So it's all good. So like, and that's why I just want to discuss, because I was seeing that video and I was like, yeah, man, you know, and I was looking at that right quick. So, you know, and I was looking what Judge was saying. If you don't have that proper content, and he talked about a few things and a certain people that was on that panel. It was a classic stream, so it's a huge classic, and I got to know it very well. So that's just what it is. And yeah, everybody's on fire lately. So yeah, I'm gonna stop the screen share and see who's going on. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I know it's a 2-hour stream, but I know people's watching and they still doing the firecrackers and stuff. But yeah, if y'all want to come up and chop it up, I'm here. So I know people's watching platinum and things like that. Yeah, they loud right now. I'll do something real quick. Yeah, kind of like that. I'm gonna have to redo that picture. Yeah, delete the avatar. We'll add another one. There, on fire with this one. Y'all give me a second. Let's see right here. Open up this avatar right here. Yeah, apply it. There you go. Yeah. Now we're here. Power and great grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people just don't want to put nothing. And, I know people just on fire right now. But, yeah, you know, like I said before, what they was talking about was very, very accurate. What they was talking about, like it's in the disarray, and people just talking about the problems, what's going on in these spaces and things like that. But I just want to put it out there, just like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do, and I'm gonna keep continuing what's going on. So, I know the drama's over there at Platts, so they like the drama and stuff, and it's just like, and people's gonna go crazy over it tonight, and I ain't even worried about it. Some people will say, "Oh, it's a shit show," and it still is. But I don't worry about that. That's just what they do. I do me over here, and yeah, man, try to build off of that. But I appreciate the viewership. So yeah, my response to the classic, man, I'm gonna continue. I'm going to watch more of his stuff. I'm gonna look at his watch laters, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna continue to watch tomorrow. I will watch the one. Oh shit! I think this is okay. This is Spider right now. Yeah. Static. Hold on. Let's see. watch this tomorrow and see what they're talking about. I want to see this one, and I'll pick a day to watch this one. Learn about its content, see how I like it or whatever. See what I can make adjustments on. I'm game planning how my channel's going to be, but I'll talk about all of that in the and whatnot. So and I think that's what I'm gonna do. So enough of that. So yeah. Oh, it happens like that. Okay, hold on. Might have to come out. Hold on. I'm good. Okay. Yeah, that happened to me in CG3, man. I mean, this could be a dynamic mic takeover. you know, it could be my headphones too, because I'm gonna get some better quality ones real soon with the mic on it. So probably good with the small headphones. We'll see over here. Yeah. You could say what's happening. Yeah, 41 views. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good, man. Yeah. So I'm good now. So I probably should not be borging. So yeah, that's just a picture that I put up. I have plenty more of these, but it's been 2 hours. So I just put the link if anyone wants to join or whatever. So I'm gonna switch back to this. Yeah, conquest people. So what I mean, I had to come in and out. So sometimes I got to leave the studio and then come back in. They try to set the internet. And I said, no, just leave the studio and then come back in. It does that to refresh, when you have good headphones. Still in and out? Okay. Hold on. All right. I'm good now. So, but yeah, I would say about 2 hours. I mean, we discussed a lot of things. I think we discussed about tech. We discussed probably the stream that I saw, the old stream, the classic. I put it in the community tab so y'all can watch it, learn what I'm talking about. It was a 10-hour stream. It's a good stream. It's a good classic. I like what they was saying in so many words. At the midstream, they was talking about it. So that's the thing. And on this channel, I'm just like, I'm on here. So give me a second. Yeah. So and I'm still here. So that's just the one thing that I've noticed. And that's the thing that you have to deal with. So yeah, I get emotion all the time, but I don't worry about it. So I'm just gonna see what's going on right here. So yeah, it's a lot of drama tonight. They talk about hookups and things like that. So, you know, I'm trying to be clear over here as well. I know people bouncing around. They say, oh, he's a little choppy. I say, yeah, could be, but I can't even hear because sometimes I got to sit still with the headphones with the wires. I want to see what it is. So, you know, charge my phone and stuff. Yeah, I won't take it off the charger. That's probably what's messing with it. Yeah, it should be good now. Yeah, I'll charge my phone later because I'll do that. I won't start doing that if I'm on live streams and stuff like that. Because normally I'm just trying to kill that static. And I think you can't do that at the same time. So, you know what I mean? Probably sound good now. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna get some quality headsets that's better. I'm gonna probably look around Best Buy and things like that because I know they got mics in them and things like that. I'm going to invest in that. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. I didn't expect this one to go longer. I mean, someone wanted to chop it up with me. That's cool, but you know, but shouts out to Go P. So I'm about to head on out myself and see all this drama mess from Platinum and things like that. I mean, I know people are gonna catch the replay and things like that. So let's get a roll call. I mean, the link's in the chat. I mean, I'm just gonna do a roll call and see who came. Okay. So the person that came here in the beginning of the stream was American Negro, Juan G, salute, because I can't salute y'all on the thing. From coming by Queen, Gold P for the hour. And who else came through? We got New. We got who else came through? Sir Anthony. What's going on? Thank you for stopping by. And Shango. So yeah, I'm going to end this off by signing off, and I'm going to say, like, you know, peace to people in the clouds. The ones that's going to watch it from the playback, and salute to everyone came. So with that, I want to say peace and shalom.